at Shorecrest was when Truman couldn't reach up and put his folder in the cabinet, and I helped him put it up there, and then later I asked him if he wanted to be my friend.
My earliest memory in the lower school is in kindergarten when on the first day we did a scavenger hunt.
My earliest memories was on a field trip when I met Mikey.
My earliest memory was when I was shadowing in kindergarten and I made lots of friends, but one girl in particular, we were really good friends, and she asked me one day if I was ever going to come back to Shorecrest the next year, and I told her never because I liked my other school, but I love it here now.
My earliest memory is when I saw Miss Vicky and I gave her a big hug.
My earliest memory was when I was new in second grade and I had no one to sit on the rug next to and Alex invited me.
Wow, we really have had a lot of great lower school field trips, haven't we?
One of my favorite field trips is when we went to St. Petersburg and when we walked around St. Petersburg. And when we got there, we only went over a couple things, and then it started raining, but I still learned a lot.
In the lower school, we went on so many amazing field trips. But my favorite field trip was when we went to Echo Farms when we were studying sustainability. It was my favorite field trip because we got to learn about a lot of unique plants that grow in unique climates and their uses. It was really interesting.
My favorite school field trip is when we went to the SPCA in kindergarten because I just really love animals, and I loved reptiles before, but after going to the SPCA, I really found an interest in reptiles.
My favorite lower school field trip was in first grade when we went to the Tampa Aquarium. This was my favorite field trip because it was really informational and amazing, and it was so fascinating to watch all the jellyfish, all the jellyfish. And I also studied nature. Wow, we did a lot of fun things in lower school.
Yeah!
Emily, what was your favorite activity?
I like the big projects like sustainability and ecosystems and learning about the ocean. I also liked being able to build things and going on Google Slides.
My favorite thing was in 4th grade. I liked doing engineering because my mom and dad are an engineer and I want to be an engineer too.
I loved all the assignments and challenges, but the one I liked the most was the one where we had to build a pier bridge and a pier head.
I enjoyed a lot of activities during 4th grade, but I enjoyed the most field day because at 4th grade's field day, it's the last field day that you have, and you can look back at the first time that you went to field day and how much stronger you got.
An activity that stands out in my mind was in 3rd grade with Miss Redmond. We were studying slavery in the Underground Railroad, and Miss Redmond decided it would be a good idea if we could actually kind of live through it a little bit. And so she set it up kind of like they would back then, and it was really memorable and realistic.
My favorite assignment was when we had to build a bridge with limited materials. I liked this because you got to destroy it and simulate a hurricane.
The most important life lesson I learned in the 4th grade is that you can learn by making mistakes, like on a test, and if you fail, you can do it over again.
You should be nice to others, forgive people, and give them the gift of kindness. Forgiveness and kindness are the key elements of a long-lasting friendship.
The most important life lesson I've learned in the lower school is to always stay a child at heart.
The most important life lesson I learned is that school actually teaches you to be a good person, and that they teach you to, in time for college and adulthood,
and they actually teach you to be an adult even through when you're still a kid.
The most important life lesson I learned in lower school was to compost because it's good for the earth and it's an easy way to get rid of all of your old food scraps.
We've had so many memories in the lower school, right, Maya?
Yes, Mila. The one time I remember from 3rd grade, Miss Hemsworth gave me the chance in my class to bring in hot chocolate and my slippers. And I had so much fun drinking my hot chocolate and being cozy in my slippers. What about you, Arden? Yes, I remember coming in and seeing everyone with smiling faces and greeting me and cheerfulness. It's a good feeling. What about you, Connor?
I will always remember when Miss Holly's dog stole Truman's pencil and Ellen hopped up and took the pencil from Miss Holly's dog. What about you, Elle?
I will always remember Senora Emily because she taught me to take risk in Spanish because I wasn't that competent. What about you, Charlie?
Yes, I will always remember my first day of school here when Clark immediately came up to me and showed me where everything was. What about you, Layla?
I'll always remember the 4th grade show because I loved how everyone was singing and dancing. What about you, Mila?
I will always remember when we Skyped kids in Egypt and we talked to them all about our ideas for Windows to the World.
This year I was introduced to the author Sharon Creech. I love all of her books. My favorite is definitely Bloomability. No, wait, Replay. No, Ruby Holler. No, Love That Dog. I love all these books.
One of my favorite books is The Wild Robot because Roz, the main character, is such a loving character, and she teaches so many lessons.
My favorite book from lower school is But Not Buddy because it's a book that teaches us a lesson. Don't give up on anything, even if it seems impossible. It's my first read-out book I heard completely.
Hey, But Not Buddy is my favorite book too. There was so much suspense, and I never wanted to put the book down.
My favorite book was Out of My Mind because it had a lot of sad moments, but there were also a lot of happy moments. Number the Stars is my favorite book because everyone in the book risked their life and it taught me a lot about World War II.
Number the Stars is my favorite book too. I really liked it. And yeah, you're right. Everyone did risk their life, and it was really fun to read, and I never wanted to put it down.
Hey, Alexandra. 4th grade was really fun, right? But there was some hard parts. What was the hard part for you?
The hardest part for me was keeping my things organized. Look at this mess. This is something I will work on.
The hardest part of 4th grade for me was all the things we made and did on the computers. For example, making Google Sites and doing math on the computers that is easier to do on paper. Before 4th grade, I thought it was really terrible. But I got it done, so I made it better at it now.
My favorite lower school tradition is town meeting. I like town meeting because I think it's a nice way to start off everyone's day at the start of the week. I think it's almost like a news channel because Dr. Bianco always says, well, this week we have the Relay for Life. This week we have the 1st grade show.
My favorite lower school tradition is Relay for Life. Relay for Life is my favorite lower school tradition because we are raising money to help cancer. It is hard to lose a family member or friend because of cancer, so I'm glad that we're raising money to help cancer.
One of my favorite lower school traditions is morning meeting. It's my favorite lower school tradition because everyone greets me and it makes me feel welcomed and it is always fun.
My favorite lower school tradition is Fall Festival. Fall Festival is so much fun. There are so many games. I love the bounce house, the putt-putt golf, and the stands that have the ball games.
My favorite stand is the popcorn stand. I love eating popcorn.
My favorite lower school tradition is Splash Day because I remember getting soaked, having fun with my friends, playing sports, and going down the slide.
Oh, sorry. I was just reading because my favorite lower school tradition was drop everything and read together. That was my favorite lower school tradition because I loved to read. I was reading Ruby Holler by Sharon Creech.
The words of wisdom that I have for rising fourth graders is that even if some work seems hard for you, just push through and try your best and maybe even have fun with it. If it seems like it'll take forever or if it seems like it'll take a long time, just try your best, go slow, and it'll probably turn out good.
Some advice I have for rising fourth graders is trust your teachers. They're smart, wonderful people. They truly have your best interest at heart and will always be there to guide you. Don't be afraid to put your faith in them. They've been doing this for a while. They have this teaching thing down.
One of the proudest moments in lower school was probably the shows because you work really hard and it's kind of fun and then you do it and everybody's like, yay. So yeah. How about you, Maddox?
One of my proudest moments in lower school was in second grade when Charlie Cowan and I finished our landmark project, which was a waterfall in Chile. I felt so proud because it was my first project ever in Shorecrest because I just moved to Florida.
What about you, Sophia?
My proudest moment was learning from my teacher, Miss Yusanitsa, and getting really good at multiplying fractions and numbers. I will always be good at doing fractions and numbers all the way through my life. It really makes sense to me thanks to her. What about you, Logan?
I'll have to say the thing I'll remember with pride is my almost perfect math score because I've never gotten such an amazing math score. The hardest part was division, but when I saw that I got an almost perfect score, I thought I was better at it. And how about you, Peely?
My proudest moment in lower school was making my first friend, and it didn't really matter what you looked like or what you believed in. You could always be friends, and that happened because I came to this school and where you can be yourself here, and it's super special and extraordinary. How about you, Caroline?
My proudest moment in lower school was reading my persuasive essay to Miss Hensler's class. The compliment you gave me made me feel good about my writing, and it lifted my spirit for that day. What about you, Sierra?
Leave me in the driveway, it's not too far to hide. Grab yourself a skateboard or hop onto your bike. Spare the evolution, keep greenhouse gas at bay. Leave me in the driveway today, just today. Leave me in the driveway today.
My proudest moment in lower school was when I sang in the school play solo as the SUV.
Proudest moment was whenever I made my first friend, Garrison. I remember the first time he said hi to me, and I knew that he was going to be my best friend.